welcome to another reading vlog, the fourth and final DraconAthon vlog. I am quite obviously outside, also quite obviously picking blackberries. My grandma and I have an annual blackberry cobbler that we make, and while it's like super hot out here, it's reaching the end of August, which also is the end of blackberry season here. So I am hurriedly picking as many blackberries as I can, and yeah, then I'm gonna be making a blackberry cobbler. What I am reading this week. So first off, I am reading Woven in Moonlight. This is for one of the global prompts in DraconAthon, and I am really enjoying it. It does have the decoy trope, which is one I have been really interested in. I am about 52% of the way through. It is really good. It's got a lot of really deep themes. It's talking about colonialism and different cultures trying to find peace among them. This is a kingdom at war, and we are following a main character who believes that there is a usurper on the throne as her kingdom has been overthrown. We are also finding out there was a bit of oppression happening when her queen was on the throne. So yeah, it's all very woven together, and she's part of a group of people called Illustrians, which all have some sort of different magic having to do with the moon, and it's really neat. Our main character is able to weave moonlight, and only Illustrians are able to see secret things she weaves into her tapestries. I really like the magic system in this. I also just like the characters and discussions. It's a super easy read while also covering really important topics. Yes, I also love that this is a Bolivian author writing a Bolivian inspired fantasy, and there's tons of Spanish, Bolivian culture, and Bolivian influence, and it's making me feel transported. It has a fantastic atmosphere. I am really just enjoying it. Obviously, this is a glowing review. I'm only 52% of the way through. I have theories, I have thoughts about what's going to be happening, but mostly I'm just really enjoying the character development that I was promised and I am receiving. Then I also went completely rogue. I am not going to be reading Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. It just wasn't grasping my interest in the time that I have left, and on the same day I was trying to make that decision, I got approved for an arc of Dragons of Innis by Minerva Caradwin, and I am so stoked for this that I was not going to miss the opportunity to read this during DraconAthon. I also haven't read like any dragon books during DraconAthon. Between the global prompts and the prompts that had dragons, but they were dragons like that were also human, don't even get me started. I haven't read a book with a really solid dragon. So I got this arc via NetGalley, and I really loved the description that was sent to me. The story follows a knight called Sir Violet, and he lives in a small village called Innis. Yinnis? I'll find out the exact pronunciation later, so if you see me switching up pronunciations, it's because I figured it out. So he's living in a small village called Innis. Things become missing every year in this village, and Sir Violet goes up to the mountain and retrieves them from a very polite but very stubborn dragon. I don't know much more besides that, but I will give you a better synopsis as I go along if I have things to add that aren't spoilery. And I really enjoyed the description that was given to me via NetGalley. It says, "The Dragons of Innis is friendly to queer audiences across the LGBTQIA+ community, with trans, lesbian, ace, and aro characters, and written by an aro, ace, and genderqueer author. The editing process involved great care and sensitivity, and we hope you enjoy." I absolutely love that. Not only is it own voices, but it sounds incredibly inclusive and queer, and that means I can double up on prompts because, yeah, it is still a readathon. I can't just read dragon books. They have to still fit in the prompts. In the first page, first chapter, it talks about a river, water, and how a lot of their main transport is through the river and water. So that covers the Mizuchi water prompt, which I was going to have covered by Fireborn. And then it also covers the queer prompt, which is Aida Wedo, which is to read a queer dragon book. So I am covering both Mizuchi and Aida Wedo with this, and so I am absolutely thrilled. My battery is dying, and I still have to pick 3 more cups of blackberries, so I had better get started, and I'll check in with you later. Okay, so some time has passed. Same day, obviously, but time has indeed moved on. I've officially started the Dragons of Unis or Unis. It's one of those two. I've narrowed it down. I know it's not in, so we're getting closer. So I've started that, and I have found out more information about it. Dragons of Unis is actually a rewrite of an original work that came out in I think about 2 years ago, and luckily beta readers had caught a lot of insensitive topics that weren't dealt with correctly, and had some material in there that was believed to be meant well but incredibly transphobic. So the author took that information and went back and did an entire rewrite of the story. That is the version I am currently reading. So my reviews are going to be of the 2020 version, not the 2018 version. Just to make that clear in case you see two very different reviews on the internet, this is the most recent adaptation of Minerva Caradwin's work. I am now 14% of the way in. The plot just started to begin rolling. I think it's really cute so far. It actually kind of gives me a similar sensation to when I was reading The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill, in that it feels very old-timey fairy tale story, something kind of folklorish in that way, with a lot of inclusivity to make it both modern and acceptable. I really like the dragon. The dragon has a sense of humor. There is a point where the dragon is stealing a whole bunch of different gems and jewels and things like that, and Sir Violet the knight has come to retrieve the jewels, and they have this rapport with each other where it's kind of same old banter, very Tom and Jerry-esque. You have a very quirky, fun writing style, and so far I am really enjoying it. I also got approved for 2 other NetGalleys that I was really looking forward to. This might not be exciting for you. It's exciting for me, but that's because I'm in childcare, but I understand if this is not the most thrilling thing you can think of. I got approved for play therapy activities, 101 play-based exercises to improve behavior and strength with parent-child connection. I work with youth and families in a lot of different ways. You might have noticed I've mentioned I'm in education, I've worked with preschool, I've worked with high school, teenagers. I work in a social emotional capacity where I'm working with children and their families, and so I am hopping from place to place quite often, and that's just the best way I can wrap it up. This is really important for me because I do play therapy, and I have been looking for more material. I also have been out of school for a while, and I'm not in trainings right now. My job does have me on leave due to COVID, and so I haven't been getting any trainings in. I haven't been really immersing myself in my job. I've felt very unemployed. And in that, I have also felt like I've been neglecting a really important part of my life. I chose this career not because it makes a ton of money, but because it makes like a ton of difference for me, and because it makes me happy, and it's something I want to do. So I was really hoping to have a connection with these 2 books, and I am. So the first one is play therapy. I'll give a brief overview of what I think of the book at the end, because I really want to make sure that if I am reviewing and possibly recommending different therapy styles, that it's something that I at least can actually recommend. So I will be looking at all of the therapy styles before I say much more on that. The other one is a little bit more personal, but also very applicable to my job, and that is Raising Global Teens. Now, this is a parent-based book, but I do want to be a parent at some point. I also have every intention of living abroad. So Global Teens is actually covering more than teenagers in this book, which is actually going to be one of my notes that I make when I am making my review. Is I think that the title is a bit misleading and a bit shorthand so far for what I've been learning, because it's actually covering more than teenagers. It's cross-cultural kids, and cross-cultural kids are going to be children and teenagers that grow up with 2 or more cultural environments, whether that be heavy interaction or in the home, which is how I would apply it outside of my personal life. But in my personal life, I do plan on living in Japan. I don't know how long I'll be living in Japan, and I do plan on starting a family. Having kids is really important to me. Kids are like my favorite thing. And so yeah, I wanted to look into this book for 2 reasons. First off, because my career, and it makes tons of sense. The second, more personal, specific reason, because I might very well have cross-cultural kids, and so I'd want to raise them in a way that was sustainable, healthy, and ethical. It also goes over third culture kids, which is children that grow up with their own culture because they are surrounded by 2 or more cultures, and the fact that they grew up with those 2 cultures is a culture in itself. I'm really excited for that one. You might have fast forwarded through that. That's fine. That's totally fine. If you're not into like kid stuff or anything like that, I can totally understand it, but I am super thrilled for it, and so far I'm really enjoying it. It's a very easily accessible writing style. There's anecdotes in there, and I really like the layout layout so far. It has big questions and then breaks those big questions down, has conclusions, has a few play act things where you can go through different moments and behaviors and how to interact with them. Again, I will give a more thorough idea, but overall it's just kind of an aside. It's not part of DraconAthon or anything like that. It's just something I wanted to pick up for myself, and I am trying to curate my space to be a space that I like. You're more than welcome to fast forward or skip along if that's not something that interests you. So apart from that, I haven't done much else today besides make a cobbler. I think I might actually be able to finish Woven in Moonlight tonight because I just kind of keep going. It's really easy to pick up, it's really easy to fall back into, and it's of course really easy to get absorbed and stay in this world. Yeah, there's tons of things to talk about with this later, but I want to get it finished to finish my thoughts because I think I've said all I can say really without finishing it, but I am really enjoying it. I also have a video that I'm about to film, which is why I'm kind of centered around my bookshelf. That should already be out, so you can go ahead and watch that. It is an announcement video. It should be really short because it's just a quick announcement having to do with The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. There will be more information up there, but in short, it's a readathon. Go check it out for more information. All I know is like The Way of Kings is over 1,000 pages and I'm doomed. I'm back. I actually got my order in before I was expecting to. I was going to be doing just a mini announcement for The Way of Kings, but now I can do my entire TBR with makeup on. What a phenomenon. I'm going to be going to go pick up Becca's Bookopoly board and the cards. I have to go pick them up because our printer's not working. I have tried 4 hours and I have already fully committed. I'm so excited for this readathon, and my printer not working was not going to stop me. I have a mask, I have sanitizer, and I am going to go pick up a Monopoly board. Success. Okay, we're back. But this time I have a cat, but also, excuse me, I have Becca's Bookopoly board. I will get a better setup for the actual video, so don't think that this is a preview. It's just showing you that I have it. I still have to cut these out. It is larger than I thought I was getting. I ordered it online and I think I got the wrong size. I mean, it's the right size. It's the right size for a Monopoly board. I was just expecting more of a little tiny square piece of paper, and I picked the wrong size. I guess I don't know what a standard piece of paper size is. So this is exciting and super legit. I still have to write in all of the prompts and I need to follow the instructions. I've watched Becca's Bookopoly, but I also loosely understand it. She's kind of explaining as she goes. I of course will put Becca's channel and her Bookopoly announcement down below. This is a special board meant specifically for Bookapolothon. I also think that it's totally doable for a different month, so if I decide I had no idea what I want to read, I could reuse this board. Dang, Becca, this looks good. I really did not mean to get this size, but I'm really excited. This is like a full-blown Becca Bookopoly board. It's really cool to see in person, and there's obviously just so much work and thought that went into it. I have to make these, so let's get going on that. So I have this pretty evened out, so I'm not going to be looking at my face right now. I'm going to be setting up these cards. These are going to be prompts, so these are prompts that are somehow not on the board. I will be coming up with these prompts because they are blank. I'm trying to think of what prompts are not on this board. Prompts are hard to come up with, so I'm going to work on that first. These are going to be an even amount of books I'm not as interested in reading and books I am interested in reading. Becca recommended, I think, 8. I'm going with 6 because I'm lazy. I'm going to have 3 books that I'm less interested in and 3 books that I'm more interested in. On top of that, I have the other parts of my TBR that I'll be looking at. So I've never gone into a readathon thinking I'm going to fail. That's never the intent, but Becca's Bookopoly is not messing around, and I have a feeling I'm not going to get to every single one of these, so I'm just going to do the best I can and give myself the best chance I can. I also have these 3 little pieces down here. This is, I think its name is Doomslug, which I'm already in love with. I have not read this series. It's also by Brandon Sanderson. I thought that might be kind of cute because I love bugs. I'm reading Brandon Sanderson in September. It made sense. Then I also have Lion Cat. He is one of my favorite characters. He is in the graphic novel Saga. And then I have a standard hippogriff that has no affiliation with anything because it was a mythical creature that has been around for a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on these. If I come up with any good ones, I'll let you know. Otherwise, that's what I'm doing right now, and it's kind of hard. I guess since I'm in DraconAthon, I'll go ahead and put dragon on here. I'm never going to be tired of dragons. That's why I have a dragon readathon. Cool. I have all of my community shelf cards, and now I just have to do 3 books I'm less interested in and 3 books I'm interested in. Okay, instead of giving you a stream of consciousness, I have figured out the books that I'm going to be putting on these, and I'll just list them off to you. First, we have Raybearer for a book I really want to get to, so this will be in the pile. Then for a book I'm less interested in, we have Wilder Girls. I was just saving this one for October, so that's why it's on the not really interested list. Then we have Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This is one I am super interested in. I just got it in my recent haul, and I really want to get to it, so that'll be in the chance. Then I'm definitely more in a fantasy mood. I'm not really in the mood for the Honeymooners, but it is going to be in the chance pile because it is one I'm interested in. I've heard really great things. It's just completely out of my comfort zone and my regular reads. There's toucans and little hearts all over the place. I have no idea what this book is about, except for that I'm guessing it's not about a honeymoon, or it is and it sucks. I don't know. It's going on the list. Then for one I really want to get to, we have Bonecryer's Moon. Oh my gosh, this is the Fairy Loot edition. It has green sprayed edges. I've been eyeing it on my shelves for a while. I just haven't found the right moment to read it yet. It comes with this print. I'm very excited and really interested in this one. If I happen to get this one, it would be a really sweet treat. And finally, this is one of course I'm excited for, but I wanted to read the trilogy first that goes alongside this because this is a companion. This is Night of Cake and Puppets by Laini Taylor. Laini Taylor's one of my favorite authors. This was one of my favorite characters, but it's part of the Daughters of Smoke and Bone series, which I've only read the first one in. I wanted to read the trilogy before reading this, but it's not the worst thing ever. Plus, look at this cover. Okay, so I now have my community shelf, which includes ARC, gifted book, DNF'd book, graphic novel, manga, or comic, and book with a dragon in it or the word dragon in the title. I will be shuffling these. You are my witness. I shuffled these. And I'm going to wait until I actually start filming to figure out which one of these it is because I put a Twitter poll up. These are being decided upon currently, and I'm looking forward to see what the heck I'll be using for this Bookopoly board. Alright, go ahead and go watch the video to see how this goes down. Hello! It is 76 days before Fires of Vengeance, and I haven't really done anything today. Well, no, that's not true. I've done boring things. I got things done off of my to-do list. I cleaned my room again. I swear I do this weekly. I need to start paying attention to how often I clean my room because it's so dirty so often that I'm at least cleaning once a week because there's no cleaning in between. Point is I cleaned my room. I did dishes, I did some paperwork, government, hi, I'm unemployed stuff, and then I also got to watch some booktube channels, which was really fun. I think I need to do like a newbie recommendation video because there were a lot of newbie tags I watched today that I very much so felt a spark with, but I haven't read a thing. I'm exactly where I was with Woven in Moonlight, Dragons of Annis, Dragons of Innis. It's not Innis. Honestly, I don't know. I've listened to it like 4 or 5 times. It's Welsh. If you're Welsh, not only do I apologize, feel free to correct me. Talk down to me and tell me exactly what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, I am going to be reading today. That will happen because I would like to start Strange the Dreamer on Friday. That is part of my September TBR, but if I can just get just a weekend in ahead of schedule, all the better. Because my TBR should be coming out tomorrow, and I have fear. So I will of course update you if anything interesting happens, but I guess I just popped on here to say nothing interesting is happening. No FOMO here, nothing to miss. So I just read more Woven in Moonlight, and okay, I'll put a timestamp. Go to that timestamp. Right now it'll be in the description box. Just click there and it'll skip forward because this is a minor spoiler. I'm not going to say who anyone is or anything like that. I'm just going to give a reaction to information I just found out. So if you want nothing at all, because I do want you to read this book, go down to that timestamp starting now. So I just read more Woven in Moonlight. I'm a little bummed because I just had a major reveal happen and it was not exciting. And I was really like, the way it was being done was so smart and so good because I was like, yeah, I really don't know who this person is. I don't know what their intentions are. I really didn't know anything. And I feel if the main character has figured it out already and then it's revealed to be who they figured it out to be, it's, I don't know, the opposite of surprising. I was like, so we were right. The person I had in my head, I was right. I predicted it. But the way it was set up seemed so much so like a false start that I was really kind of hoping I was wrong. And I had all of these crazy theories and it just kind of unraveled and fell apart really quickly. So that was kind of a bummer, but there's so much else going on here that it's also kind of not of a bummer because now there's no love triangle. It's a mixed bag. I wish it had been better. I don't know. Alright, the spoilers are over. There's no more. Woven in Moonlight is really good though. I am really enjoying it. I very much so like how everything has slowly come together. And the magic system is so much better than what I thought it was based off of the description. In the description, it's just labeled as she's able to spin a thread from Moonlight. And I'm like, that's cool. Doesn't seem very useful, but is neat. But really, it's super useful and there's a lot of different magic systems. Some people are able to tell the future based off of the stars. Some people can see other people's intentions. There's just so much there. There's moon dust that you can sprinkle and make people fall asleep. There's also gifts if you're not an Alestrian, which is people who praise the moon. If you're not an Alestrian, you also have special gifts and powers, and some of them are really nuanced and take a lot of time. It's just really neat. I think the magic system in this was really undersold, and that was a pleasant surprise. I only have like 50 pages left, so I'm gonna stop there really quick. You might have noticed that I don't look like a ghoul anymore, and that's because I just did my announcement for the Stormlight archive. I meant to do it yesterday, but Becca's TBR, not blaming Becca, it just took longer than I thought, so I didn't get to it. It took like 20 takes. Each one was like 3 minutes long, and they were just disasters. It was just one of those things where if you do film videos, you'll get this feeling none of this is right. It all feels like your mind is foggy. I don't know, maybe no one else gets that. If you do make videos, let me know if that's something that happens to you, where you just feel so detached and disconnected from what you're saying that it just feels like you've said nothing when you're done saying it. I kind of felt that way just right now trying to explain it. I think part of it is the fact that I was referring to a readathon that happened. This is a vlog, so it's a lot more casual. I'm not just trying to put out information. It's just behind the scenes and me. But I had to talk about Rachel Marie, who is a booktuber that was on here that I had previously been really close to, and a lot of disappointing and alarming things came to light, and there are some things that I should have recognized myself. It's hard for me to talk about her in past tense, and it's hard for me to talk about her because it hurts and is disappointing. I'm not trying to make this a dramatic video or drama or anything. I just know that a 5-minute video shouldn't have taken me that long, and that there's probably some reasons why. Yeah, if you watch that video and you're like, why do you seem like you're suffering? It's because I am. But I'm so excited for the Stormlight Archive readathon, and I'm really glad we're not just continuing with the Mistborn series, which is weird because Final Empire was one of my favorite books of this year, for sure. Hands down, until Rage of Dragons came along, my heart was taken by one man, and oh shit, what was his name? This is an Aquarius problem. Jesamir? Kelsier. But no more. Now I juggle between Tau and Kelsier, and it's a real hard life. Yeah, I'm just glad that we're doing this with a fresh slate, fresh start, not just picking up right where we left off, because that would feel unnatural and weird to me, and Catherine pretty much thought of everything and has made this real smooth sailing, so I'm really glad that everyone kind of banded together and that we get to do this. Well, enough rambling for now. I'm gonna go and eat some food. I'm sorry I'm constantly announcing to you that I'm going to eat, but I feel like I really like food. And then I am going to hopefully finish Woven in Moonlight, because I'm that close and I'm doing this. Hopefully the next time you see me, Woven in Moonlight will be done and I'll be gushing over it, because that's the dream. Okay, yes. Woven in Moonlight was absolutely fantastic. As I thought, I loved it. It was adorable. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, but it's more of a 4.5 for me. Rounding it down to a 4 didn't seem right. It made sense, and I really disagreed with the overall score that it has on Goodreads, so I wanted to bump that up. This is adorable. This is also really powerful and fantastic. It was such a good, fun read. While it felt really light and easy, I'm just so impressed by it. I really enjoyed the entire thing. The romance wasn't overdone. The themes weren't overdone. The entire thing was just a good, fun ride all the way through. The part that I didn't like, I would say, like, yes, some of the things that came about were a little obvious. It didn't detract away from it in the way that would ever stop me from recommending it. It's just good stuff. I'm now 60% of the way through Dragons of Innis, and focus on my face. I mean, I also love Rage of Dragons, but focus on my face, please. And I think it is adorable, and I am not picking up a lot of things that were previously said to be in it that were worrisome. This is also own voices for Ace and Arrow representation, so there's just a lot in this book, and I actually think I would definitely gear it towards younger audiences. A young person could read this, an older person could read this. I'm reading this. However, I would say if I was strategically placing it somewhere in a bookstore, I would place it with younger audiences. Very cute, very good. I'd say there's only a few like technical errors. There's a lot of ellipses used, like punctuation wise, and then a couple awkward dialogue moments, but apart from that, it's just a really cute, good book. And this is gonna round out my DraconAthon reads. That's it. I actually think Snap, which is the dragon in this book, is one of my favorite dragons that I have read for this entire thing. I'm finishing off DraconAthon with an actual dragon book with an actual dragon, and he's very sassy. He's got the best one-liners in the book for sure. This book is funny. It has a modern flair to the fantasy aspect, and all the dragon's one-liners are pretty good stuff. I also just opened my package that I got, and I'm very excited for it. I wish I could get to this immediately, but I already filmed my TBR, and I don't think I'll be able to in September, possibly October. I got in the mail Black Veins. This is by Asha Monet. This is completely a booktuber made me buy this book. I'm going to say right off the bat, Joel from Fictional Fates completely sold me on this book. His adoration for this book is so intoxicating that every single time he brought it up, I wanted it more and more until it came up on my recommended and I just bought it. We don't know what happened to my book buying ban. It's on hiatus. I bought this book specifically because Joel has so much love for it and all of the themes that were in it. We have a group of teenagers who are on a road trip to go save their family members. This is completely found family based as well as friendship love. There's no romance in it. It's all platonic friendships, and friendships are so important to me. Having those platonic friendships is also really underrated. I believe these characters also have superpowers. It's definitely urban fantasy. It just sounds really awesome and a good time, and I'm looking forward to reading it. There's that. I was just in the pool and it started to get cold outside, so I came in. September is around the corner and I can feel it. It's not as hot outside as it was the past few weeks. It's definitely crisping the air, and I'm kind of excited for it. I've enjoyed just being able to be out in really nice, beautiful weather because I like nice weather, but I also very much so love fall. I love fall vibes for sure. I'm most comfortable in fall clothing, definitely. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Like, I wasn't bummed when I had to go inside because the temperature dropped. I was like, oh, okay, I see you, autumn. That's really it. I'm officially talking about the weather, so we know how this vlog is going. Tomorrow is the last day of my DraconAthon vlogs because I have to have this up on Friday. If you watched the live show, you know specifically why I have to have this up on Friday, because there are certain opportunities that can only be achieved if my vlog is up. Gonna make sure that happens. Gonna start editing this one, and I also have to edit my TBR video. I gotta get down to business. I gotta do the things so that I continue to be organized and responsible. Brief pause. I just got a shout out from Victoria at What Victoria Read, and it was the sweetest, nicest thing I think anyone has ever said about me. I'm trying to think if anyone said anything nicer. I mean, my friends are nice, but it was so nice. Is that even me? Did she get me my name mixed up with someone else? Because that's like the kindest thing in the world. Victoria does these cool videos where she has all of the YouTubers that she watches and she puts them in a very cute cup. And then she draws out names and we'll talk about about them and pretty much just like talk them up and gush about them. It's the sweetest thing. Victoria is the purest human, which is why I am so completely honored that not only did I get talked about at all, but that she had so many nice things to say about me, because I don't have that many nice things to say. So it was just really, really, really sweet and totally made my day. Probably my week. The week's not over, but I'm assuming that tomorrow my day will still be made because of Victoria. Please check her out if you don't already watch her. Kind, cute, considerate, wonderful, has really thoughtful reviews. You're missing out if you're not watching Victoria, so I will have her linked down below. It was just so kind. I was like, I need to stop and like say something to somebody about this. Here you are. You had to listen to me talk about me being loved, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to editing now. It is the last day of DraconAthon. This vlog is way too long. I was editing last night and I was like, no one's gonna watch this. But I'm still going to vlog because I still have a day left, so I don't know. I'll try and make it shorter. I'm sorry that it's obviously not. I had a friend reach out to me that watched my Stormlight archive video, and she is giving me, not lending me, not selling me, giving me the UK editions of Way of Kings. I am so thrilled by this, you have no idea. So I'm meeting her for a quick boba tea pickup. We are going to be social distancing. I will show you my boba tea, and that is all, because again, I'm trying to make this vlog short. I don't know what kind of boba tea I'm gonna get, but I haven't had boba tea in a good long while. So I am very excited. Of course, to see my friend too. I'm very excited. Okay, so I had 2 boba teas, but it was a really good time and I'm glad I did it. Plus, I got these fantastic copies! I haven't had any Brandon Sanderson books because I refused unless they were this editions, and I'm so excited. They're beautiful. I want to read them. So that's done. I had to take Belle, our other cat, our less mouthy cat, to the vet, and she's doing well. It was all good and positive, so that was nice. And I am done with DraconAthon. It's over. It's done. I'm not like happy that it's ending. I mean, kind of. I mean, I'm tired, but I am mostly just thrilled because I actually finished a readathon. What is that? Who am I? This was so much fun, and I finished it with Dragons of Innis, and it was just so cute and good. I feel like this could make all the difference in a young person's world, getting to see some of this stuff talked about. I think putting it in such a wonderfully quirky and sweet fairy tale is really, really a positive thing, because what are fairy tales if they're not lessons and morals? Yeah, it was just beautifully done and talked about inclusivity and had really straightforward conversations about like gender pronouns, and it was just awesome. I really, really loved it. From what I could tell as far as representation goes, because this book is drenched in representation, ace, arrow, and gender fluidity representation that the author themselves identify with. There was also trans representation, lesbian characters, non-binary characters, non-gender conforming characters. It had such a beautiful, colorful array of people all coming together to solve this quest. The quest kind of changed pace in the second half, which I believed was a better plot than the first plot. The first plot seemed kind of weak, but it was leading into the larger plot. So I'm glad that the first half was kind of done with quickly so that we could get into the meat of the story. And yeah, there was just really good conversation. I was really happy to read it, and it was just a sweet, pleasant read to finish the night off with and to finish DraconAthon with. I've read a lot of different dragon books this month, and they were all special and different in their own way. That was really cool. I want to thank everyone who joined in, who watched these vlogs, everyone who was active on the Discord or joined me for sprints. Shout out to the people who solo watched the Dragon Prince with us. You guys are amazing. Soleil and I had so much fun. We weren't sure if anything was going to come of this. We just knew we wanted to do this. I just really appreciate how much work and effort and participation we had. Really, really really touching and very encouraging because we'd love to do something like this again. Now that we have some experience, I think that there are things that I'd polish, that we'd change. I'm completely inspired by everyone who was willing to participate and who made this all possible because, I mean, yeah, Soleil and I would have spent a month alone reading dragon books together, but it was like so much better with everyone else. I just want to say thank you. I'm sorry this vlog is so long. I guess I don't have much else to say. I will see you when I see you, and I hope you are enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are, and until next time, bye!